Let's have a look at the latest business news now then, with a look ahead to the first day of the trial of Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of the crypto trading platform FTX, now accused, of course, of large-scale fraud. And Charles Pellegrin, our business editors, here on set to tell us.
Hi, Stuart. Jury selection for this trial is set to begin in New York later this Tuesday. The 31-year-old founder of the FTX crypto exchange could be facing a lifetime behind bars. Now, the prosecutors say he defrauded the people who deposited cryptocurrency on the FTX exchange he created. This by illegally transferring their funds for his personal use, whether to make trades at his hedge fund Alameda Research, buy real estate, or to make political campaign donations. At the same time, FTX was advertised as being the, quote, safest way to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, including by an array of celebrities like U.S. American football star Tom Brady. Well, in part, thanks to that popularity, FTX soared to a $32 billion valuation in January 22, about 6 months after Bitcoin reached its peak at around 67,000 US dollars. When the exchange collapsed in November 2022, while Bitcoin fell below the $20,000 mark. Since then, crypto's leading currencies have slightly recovered to around the $27,000 mark, but clearly still roiled by the FTX chapter and the collapse of other crypto firms in its wake, like Genesis and Gemini. According to a survey by Pew Research Center, 3/4 of Americans say they aren't confident in the safety and reliability of cryptocurrencies. Laurent Berstecker takes a closer look at the FTX saga.
Sam Bankman-Fried was only 31 when he founded crypto trading platform FTX in 2019. Business grew rapidly, attracting investment from Silicon Valley, and within a year, FTX had become the second largest crypto brokerage in the world. At his peak, Bankman-Fried was worth an estimated $32 billion, rubbed elbows with politicians and celebrities, and dumped millions into campaign contributions. But as the crypto markets crashed last year, his empire came tumbling down like a house of cards, revealing an array of fraudulent practices. Prosecutors are now accusing the former tech mogul of having used investors' money to bankroll risky ventures and expenses for his hedge fund Alameda Research. He's also suspected of having deliberately misled the public in an attempt to raise cash, even as he knew his company faced a solvency crisis.
The depositors have lost billions, and they're unlikely to get back that much in bankruptcy. There may be some partial recoveries, but we have a company that has lost billions of dollars, and essentially that's a loss experienced and falls on the depositors in both Alameda and FTX.
Several former FTX top executives and members of Bankman-Fried's inner circle have already pleaded guilty to a range of charges and could now testify against him. Sam Bankman-Fried, meanwhile, has maintained his innocence. If found guilty, he could face decades behind bars.
Moving on now with a look at electric vehicle deliveries at Tesla for the third quarter of this year. They rose 27% on an annual basis, but that's below analysts' expectations and also less than the previous quarter, with 435,000 vehicles sold. This as customer demand is softening a bit and as factories had to hit the pause button because of upgrades. Well, Elon Musk's company's sales consisted mostly of its Model 3 and Y cars, which have seen many rounds of price cuts, which have eaten into the company's profits. Third quarter earnings will be released on October 18th, where we'll get more information on those profits. Well, let's have a quick look at the stock markets. Now all European indices trading lower at the open. As you can see, the DAX in Frankfurt down 0.4%. Same for the Paris CAC 40. The FTSE in London down 0.1%. This after disappointing manufacturing data for the region showing orders fell close to their lowest level. And Asian shares trading lower this Tuesday. The Shanghai Composite and Kospi and Seoul still closed for public holidays, but the Nikkei trading lower, closing the session down 1.5% lower. That is probably a mistake for the Hang Seng in Hong Kong. Don't be alarmed. Last I checked, it was down 3%, so still leading the losses after reopening after the holidays, dragged down by real estate and energy sectors. On the Hang Seng still, shares in Chinese real estate group Evergrande have started trading again after being suspended in the wake of the company chairman there being under police surveillance. Shares trading higher at 18% higher, but from a very low base point at 38 cents from the Hong Kong dollar. Elsewhere, the head of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, is backing calls for reform at the Multilateral Development Bank. In an interview with the Financial Times, she called for changes at the institutions that would better reflect changes in the global economy over the past decade. This would give China more sway in the organization, as it currently only has 6% of voting power while being the second largest economy in the world. She raised the urgent need to obtain more financial resources in order to aid struggling economies around the world. And finally, let's end in Las Vegas in Nevada, where a new concert venue has caught a lot of attention over the weekend. You've probably already seen many videos of the Sphere on social media, a dome-shaped arena with wall-to-wall video screens. It's been inaugurated with a concert by Irish rock group U2. Behind the Sphere, as it's called, is a company called Sphere Entertainment. It was created by the owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan, and it saw its shares go up 11% on Monday after the opening concert over the weekend and the reports of a full house. It also has plans to build a similar venue, Stuart, in London, and currently has a market cap of $1.4 billion.
Wow, impressive figures. I saw some figures on Twitter earlier for how much it costs to actually advertise on that dome for the